June 12th, 7:02 in the morning, something invisible vanishes worldwide. ICU monitors freeze, airport announcements stop mid-sentence, and trading screens lock in place. Experts find no trace of malware. There is no kill command. Just AI gone everywhere at once. If you ever wondered what happens if AI disappears tomorrow, the real question is not how it vanished, but how much of our world quietly depended on it until this moment. At 7:03 in the morning, an ICU in Minneapolis stands still. Dr. Maya Patel watches patient monitors that no longer update, vital signs frozen, alarms silent. Nurses move from room to room, searching for answers, but every screen offers the same blank stare. Across the city, an airport terminal fills with restless travelers. The departures board has not changed in minutes. Automated check-in kiosks display error codes, and the baggage belts grind to a halt with half-sorted luggage stranded mid-journey. The airport manager Daniel fields a stream of radio calls. Pilots report missing flight plans. Ground crews wait for routing instructions that never arrive. No one can reach the central scheduling system. In a downtown supermarket, the self-checkout lanes refuse every scan. The store manager, Olivia, tries to reboot the point-of-sale system, but the machine cycles endlessly. Customers crowd the aisles, holding baskets, glancing at their phones for updates that never come. Stockroom staff, used to AI-generated inventory lists, stare at shelves with no idea what needs restocking next. The city's rhythm falters. Emergency service lines jam with callers reporting unresponsive medical devices, lost prescriptions, unexplained delays. On trading floors, brokers stare at frozen numbers, unable to execute a single order. There is no warning, no error message, just a sudden, unexplained silence. For those on the front lines, the world feels both familiar and suddenly deeply alien. The systems everyone trusted have simply stopped. The question is not why, no one has time for that. The only thing that matters is what to do now. By mid-morning, technical teams gather in glass-walled conference rooms, eyes fixed on status dashboards and scrolling lines of code. Forensic analysts from competing vendors compare notes in real time. Across every sector, airlines, hospitals, retailers, the same story repeats. There is no evidence of malware, no trace of a shutdown command, no ransom demand waiting in an inbox. Every AI system, regardless of provider or platform, simply stopped responding at the same instant. A systems architect called in from a major cloud provider reviews the incident reports. She points to the timeline, 7:03 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time, when thousands of independent AI services across the globe fell silent. Not a single system tripped a fault alarm before going dark. The logs are pristine, as if the last entry had been written and then time itself paused. Vendors who normally compete for market share now share a rare moment of agreement. This was not a coordinated cyber attack, not a supply chain compromise, not a software bug rippling through dependencies. The silence is total, but the cause is invisible. Phone lines buzz with questions from government agencies and corporate security chiefs. How can so many unrelated systems fail in perfect synchrony without a single signature of tampering? The absence of evidence is its own kind of shock. For the first time, experts are forced to consider something far stranger than sabotage. The world's most advanced infrastructure designed to withstand attack and error has been left with no explanation, only a void where AI used to be. In a warehouse outside Chicago, logistics manager Rafael Torres scrolls through a dashboard that once mapped every delivery route across the Midwest. The display is frozen, its recommendations missing. For years, AI quietly optimized each truck's journey, calculating the fastest paths, rerouting around accidents, shaving minutes off every stop. The UPS's Orion system alone once saved 100 million miles of driving each year, cutting fuel costs and emissions on a scale no human dispatcher could match. Raphael remembers when drivers carried paper maps and guessed at shortcuts, but those days faded as algorithms took over. The warehouse ran with near-perfect timing. Packages arrived just as trucks pulled in. Shelves emptied and refilled in sync with demand. Now Raphael's team stands in a circle with clipboards, arguing over which shipments to load first. Without AI's invisible hand, the entire operation slows. Deliveries stack up, mistakes multiply, and the margin for error grows wider with every hour. The efficiency that once seemed effortless is suddenly impossible to recover. On a side street in Cleveland, a small business owner named Marcus sits behind the counter of his shop, watching the online dashboard that used to drive a third of his sales. The recommendation engine is gone, no more last-minute suggestions, no bundles, no reminders nudging shoppers to check out. Overnight, traffic to his site dropped by half. Orders that once arrived in steady waves now trickle in, unpredictable and sparse. Marcus refreshes the page, hoping for a surge, but the numbers stay flat. Across the country, thousands of retailers face the same silent hit. For giants like Amazon, recommendations once accounted for 35% of sales. Without them, even the biggest players watch conversion rates collapse. Customer service inboxes fill with confused shoppers, and employees scramble to answer questions AI used to handle automatically. The backlog grows by the hour. For every worker pulled off the floor to answer emails, another shelf goes unstocked. Losses mount, not just in dollars, but in hours and trust. What felt like a minor glitch at dawn has become a relentless strain, one that no one is sure how to stop. Inside the ICU, Dr. Patel's team faces a new kind of emergency. Sepsis alerts, once triggered by AI in nearly 3/4 of American hospitals, are silent. The algorithm that flagged infections early is gone. Nurses are forced to scan charts by hand, searching for patterns that software used to catch in seconds. Every minute lost raises the risk of death. A patient's blood pressure drops, unnoticed for too long. The team scrambles, but the safety net they relied on has vanished. A few blocks away, at the headquarters of a major bank, fraud detection chief Marcus Lee watches transaction screens fill with unchecked anomalies. For years, AI models flagged 95% of suspicious activity, and now every transfer is a potential breach. Overnight, the volume of flagged transactions triples, overwhelming the human staff. A single missed alert could drain millions from customer accounts. Lee's team races to review cases, but the backlog grows by the hour. In both places, the margin for error shrinks. The loss of invisible automation turns routine protection into a desperate, manual fight for safety and solvency. A veteran air traffic controller sits in a tower, clutching a pencil over a stack of paper flight strips. For years, the computers handled flight sequencing and collision warnings, but now every route must be written by hand. Radios crackle with pilots waiting for clearance. The controller's hand shakes as she jots down call signs, eyes darting between radar and scribbled notes. Delays stack up. Across the city, a trading floor erupts in shouts. 80% of trades once moved through algorithms, and now those screens are frozen. Traders scramble to fill order slips, but the pace is impossible. Markets lurch, liquidity dries up, and every decision is a gamble. The systems designed for speed and precision have vanished, replaced by a paper trail and a mounting sense of strain. Human hands try to keep up, but the world is moving too fast. A systems architect stands at the front of the emergency response room, her voice steady as she explains the unspoken flaw. For years, engineers designed critical systems under the quiet assumption that AI would always be available. There was no comprehensive inventory. No one could say exactly where AI lived or how deeply it ran. In the central bank, an officer flips through risk reports, searching for a map of dependencies that does not exist. Across the internet, nearly 99% of spam had once been filtered out by unseen algorithms. Now, inboxes overflow in minutes. Content moderation teams, outnumbered and overwhelmed, watch as scams and misinformation surge. The architect points to the root cause. Workflows and defenses were built around an invisible foundation presumed permanent. Without backup plans or manual training, The world's confidence in automation became its greatest vulnerability. Today, critical infrastructure quietly relies on algorithms most of us never see. Dependence without preparation is risk, by design, not by accident. The real test isn't whether AI vanishes, it's whether we're ready for anything that does.